Guys, in this video, I'm going to show you something that I never thought I would see. And in fact, I still can't believe I'm looking at what I'm looking at. But I found this on Google Earth. I found it yesterday. And I've done a lot of extensive research on this particular, well, it's a stump. That's what you're looking at. And I have confirmed that this is a tree stump. But there's more. There is proof not far away that this was once a very tall tree. I can prove it. But first I want to give you a little bit of detail on just how big this tree stump is. And that's what we're looking at. I'm 100% sure this is a tree stump, okay? I've seen these before. In fact, one came through my feed on YouTube the other day where they were showing in a video a 2-mile wide tree stump. And you know, I get it. It's hard to wrap your mind around something that big. I mean, we think a 200-foot tall tree is really big. These things here are in a whole nother universe. I mean, they're huge. Let me show you just how big the base of this tree is. I'm just going to give you a rough measurement from, let's say, here to here. You're looking at 7 miles. I know, but wait till you see the leaves. That's right, I found leaves and branches. Unbelievable. It's the most unbelievable thing, but it's believable because I can confirm it now. It's the most incredible thing I've ever seen on Google Earth. That's where I'm at, obviously, Google Earth. And if there's any interest in this video at all, then I'll share the location. But right now I'm still working on this, but I have confirmed that not far away there are branches and leaves that must go to this tree, or what used to be a very tall tree. Let me continue. This thing is, like I said, it's the most incredible thing I've ever found on Google Earth. So, here we go. There's the stump, right? It's absolutely huge. Now, if you're up near that thing, you wouldn't recognize it as that. You know, you would look at it as some sort of a mountain, or you know, when it's too big, you can't see it. Literally, it's like the Earth. You can't see the Earth because it's so big. You can see parts of the Earth. But let's go to this area here, which is, I'm measuring just how far away it is. 6 miles, 10 miles, in some cases 12 miles away. Not far for a tree that was probably a few miles tall. But in this area here, and I've marked them with just my little random number sequence and letter sequence just to have a way to track this area back down. What you're looking at here are branches that were once probably on that very tree. Hold on, it gets better. These are branches of what look like some sort of a cedar tree. See the branches? And those are, I don't know if you call those leaves on a cedar. What do you call those? This would be the branch. And you can see all the extenders coming off the branch. That thing there's 300 foot wide. You believe that? That's 800 foot. Oh, it gets better. Look at this here. It's undeniable. I don't know how old they are. It's impossible to tell. But those are leaves, branches that came off of that tree, that stump right behind us. Look at that. They're everywhere. It's a good example right here. Branch. And it's kind of got that flimsy branch like a cedar tree has. Some, you know, the longer ends of a cedar tree kind of sag, and then these are, I guess you call those branches. It kind of reminds me of that. You see what I mean? Obviously on a much larger scale, and it could have been obviously some sort of a different type. I mean, there's different types of cedars, there's different types of redwoods, but all in all, their branch is kind of flimsy, and that's an absolutely huge part of the branch. I've looked around. I've actually found like evidence of what looked like used to be a berry or some sort of a seed that was attached. Like that might be something right there, but that's obviously part of a branch. There's part of a branch. More branches. More branches. It's a good example of some more branches. Those are some sort of a cedar. I think. I have no idea how old this is. There you go. Here's another example. Some sort of a giant cedar tree. Very, very old, more than likely. Let's see if I can find one to measure. Here we go. We'll just measure this one here. This looks like some sort of a branch. There, we'll just go from here to here. We're going to measure that in feet. That's 1,413 feet. You realize that that's taller than the Empire State Building? And that's just one. Oh yeah. And they're all over the place here. Taller than the Empire State Building. There's a whole section here. Let's measure this one here, just to kind of give you an example of how wide it is. 460 feet, 153 yards. That's a football field and a half. You play a football game on that branch. Good collection there of another branch. There's a really big section there. Let's just measure it real quick. 345 yards long, 1,036 feet wide. Now we'll measure the length. It's down to about here. 1,328 feet long. That's taller than the Empire State Building. And again, that's just one little segment of that. So here's some more good examples. Like I said, if there's any interest in this video, if it takes off, then I'll show you guys where this is at. But these are branches. These are leaves or some sort of a component of. And the area that we are looking at is north central Madagascar. Right in this area here. There are more than one example of what look like to me ancient tree stumps with quite possibly large branches and large leaves in some cases, laying next to some of these very huge structures. This is one that I showed you guys yesterday. Measure this thing and you can look at the side view even. On Google Earth here, we'll go side to side. There's the stop. 4,000 foot on this side over here, go across. A little taller on this side, at about 4,150 feet. It's over 8 miles wide. You'll also find many more examples of these leaves, like right here, big huge branches. To me, they look like something in the cedar family. Obviously, this is in a league all of its own. Nothing like what we know today. I mean, we think 200 feet's tall. Can you imagine? If this thing's got, which it does, it looks like it's got this is a pretty good example here, and that's a cedar. 8-mile wide base. Look at there. Good example. And that looks like, to me, a cedar. But the base of that one that I showed you is 8 miles wide. It's near a river. It would have taken a lot of water to supply a living organism that big with an 8-mile wide base. And again, the height, I couldn't even begin to speculate. It's hard to wrap your mind around something that could be that tall. And you know it had to be many miles tall. There's another example up here. Looks like yet another ancient tree stump. Got a river here. You got what looked like little arteries running through it. I'm sure at one time those supplied water to a very tall structure, which is right here in north central Madagascar. If you go over here to the west coast of Madagascar, you'll find yet another, what looks like to me, a very good example of a tree, or what used to be an old tree. This is the stump. You've got the primaries, which are the rivers. That's its primary source of water, probably right next to the roots, and the root systems go probably many miles deep. We'll measure this one for perspective purposes just from edge to edge. 8.5 miles long. It's about the same size as the one next door. Let's measure its side height. Go from here to here. There you go. And there's your structure. It goes up about 1,175 feet, and it's 8.5 miles across. It's got 2 rivers and a lot of secondaries that fed it water at one time. You'll also find in this area, if you look close, they're a little harder to see. There's other examples over here. What to me looks like once was an old tree, old tree, old tree. I just showed you one over on the left. If you look closely in this area here to the left of this big structure, you'll find what look like occasionally some sort of a large seed that is laying next to a branch or a leaf, like in this case here. There are examples if you look closely, and those things are like 27 feet wide in some examples. Here's another picture of the landscape that you'll find next to that stump that I shared with you guys yesterday, and to me that's undeniable. Those are some sort of leaves from a big tree from long, long ago. You know, Earth is a fascinating place, and this is just one of the many fascinating aspects of our planet. So enjoy, guys. That's on Google Earth, once again, in central Madagascar. There are more than one example in this area. Have fun looking around. Thanks for watching. Have a super day. Be safe out there.